While everyone agrees the U.S. is engaged in a large-scale military operation against Iran, whether you can call this a war depends on who you ask. For President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, the answer is clear.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. We have unlimited middle and upper ammunition, which is really what we're using in this war. And we're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly.
The terms of this war will be set by us at every step.
But if you head down to Capitol Hill and ask House Speaker Mike Johnson, he'll tell you the opposite.
We are not at war. We have no intention of being at war. The President and the Department of Defense have made this very clear. The Department of War has made it very clear. This is a limited operation.
Douglas Brinkley joins us now. He's a presidential historian and professor of history at Rice University. So have we seen this kind of semantic back and forth between the White House and Congress before?
Yes. I mean, and President Trump wants to be seen as a maximalist, somebody who's going to do unconditional surrender, somebody who's ardent and tough. It's going to be Trump's war and he's going to win. But the Constitution kind of divides the reality of the situation. Congress has to be the one to declare war and also the funder of the war. Yet Donald Trump has the prerogative and is commander-in-chief of our military, of our Navy, Army, et cetera. So Trump has all the powers, yet by calling it a war, it looks like he's ignoring War Powers Acts and the Constitution. Hence, you see Speaker Johnson kind of backtracking from that war. And it's why often, when Richard Nixon went into Cambodia in 1970, that was called an incursion, not a war on Cambodia. So the semantics matter, but Trump can't help himself by saying, I'm the war commander-in-chief.
What other precedents, what else have we seen from past administrations who have been sort of navigating the public response and what they're trying to also posture to our perceived enemies?
What's surprising about Donald Trump in this, what I would call the Iran war, is that he seems to not care a lot about Congress or what our allies are thinking. It's by and large bipartisan United States and Israel. Certain American presidents developed this very special tie to Israel. Harry Truman, first among them, for recognizing the creation of Israel, and he's loved there. And then you had George W. Bush in the early part of 21st century, after 9/11, taking on stateless terrorism, Al-Qaeda, but also intervening with boots on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan. Donald Trump's a beneficiary of modern technology, where you're going to be dealing with AI, robots, tech systems of war making that couldn't even be imagined when George W. Bush was president. Hence, he has the potential of not putting so-called boots on the ground, yet the rule still applies if there is no civil society or government in Iran, what's going to fill that void? And nobody really has an answer yet. But I'm sure many of the 90 plus million people in Iran right now are looking, how can I get out of here? How can I go to another country? How can I leave? So there's a great deal of uncertainty, and the stock markets doesn't like it. Gasoline prices are going to go way up, and the American public were never explained by President Trump. What are we doing? We used to do, they would beam into your home for a talk, national television back in the big three network days. But now we're just getting information, misinformation from every corner of the globe. So I would recommend the United States and Israel streamline the communication aspect and bring the people of the world on to what's going on.
Douglas Brinkley, thank you.